Hello friends, my name is Shayla and today I am here to wrap up my reading year with my December wrap up. So this will actually include the last half of November and all of December, just because the last wrap up I did was kind of mid-November, and most of November I was really only reading one book. So that's why I decided to just go ahead and put it all together here in this video, and let's just dig right in. This last part of my reading year was absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. Like, the amount of 5-star books that I had this last 6 weeks of the year was insane. So let's just dig right in here. Alrighty, so the first book we are going to talk about is the one that took me 3 weeks to read because it is such a monster, and that is Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson, which I gave 5 stars. I have a whole review about this book, so I will go ahead and leave that linked down below so you can get my further thoughts. This is book 3 in the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson, and I do feel like it was a solid third book. There were parts where I think it could have been edited a tiny bit more. That would be my only true critique of it. But all in all, Brandon is a master story weaver, and things that you thought didn't matter in books 1 and 2 ended up mattering in book 3, and so I highly suggest you guys just pay close attention as you read the entire series. Next up is going to be Dark Breaks the Dawn by Sarah B. Larson. This is going to be a duology, and this is book 1, and this is a book that I ended up giving 4 stars. So this is Sarah B. Larson's follow-up duology to her Defy series that I ended up really loving, and I still loved her writing. I still feel like the story was well done. It ended on a great cliffhanger for a duology, and I'm really excited to get my hands on book 2 in this series because I want to know what happens. Alrighty, the next thing I read was Phoenix Descending, Curse of the Phoenix #1 by Dorothea Dreyer. Again, I have a review about this book, so I will leave that linked down below so you can get my further thoughts. But I ended up giving it 4 stars. It was a solid start to a dystopian fantasy kind of series, and I did really enjoy it. There are some problematic things, and those are mentioned in the review, so I will just, again, leave that linked down below so you can get my full thoughts there, just because there's so many books. If I sat here and went through all of it again, we'd be here all day. Alright, next up is another 4-star book, and that is Love and Gelada by Jenna Evans Welch. This is one that's been on my shelf for a while. I decided to finally pick it up. It is a really cute contemporary based about a girl whose mother passes away and ends up getting sent to Italy to live with her father and kind of get to know him a little bit. She goes on a trial basis, and this is about what happens during that trial basis. So it's really fun. The next 2 go together, and that is the first 6 total volumes, the first 2 omnibuses of Full Metal Alchemist by Hiroma Arakawa, and I gave both of those 5 stars. When it comes to Full Metal Alchemist, you can probably expect all of them to be 5 stars. I feel like the story is beautiful and well written, and there's so much going on that matters at every step, and I will forever love this manga series. Like, it's already one of my favorite animes of all time. I'm pretty sure the manga series is going to be right up there as well, so just be prepared for that. Next up is Here Skies Surround Us, book 2 in the Dome 1618 series by Melanie McFarland. This is obviously the long-anticipated second book in this series. I really love this series so much, guys. It's seriously fantastic. I have a review for the first book, There Once Were Stars, that I will leave linked down below, so you guys can go ahead and check that out. Go ahead and give the series a read. They did redo the cover of There Once Were Stars, which makes me a little bit sad. I really loved the first cover, but it's the newer cover. You know, it's a little more indicative of what actually happens in the novel, so I understand why they did it, but anyway, I digress. I ended up giving that one 4.5 stars and really enjoying it. Next up is Gathering Darkness, book 3 in the Falling Kingdom series. I have been dragging my heels on reading this third book, but I am so glad I finally read it. I ended up giving this one somewhere between 4.5 and 5 stars. This is by far my favorite book in the series so far. I really loved it. I love the character development we have. I love the story progression that we had in this book. I'm really looking forward to finishing out that series next year because that is going to happen. The last book is coming out in February. I am really hoping to read books 4 and 5 quickly so I can get to that as it releases so that you guys can know my full thoughts on the whole series pretty quickly. All right, next up is The Architect of Song. It's by A.G. Howard. This is book 1 in the Haunted Hearts Legacy. So this is a paranormal new adult series by A.G. Howard, and I freaking loved it. I gave it 5 stars. It was thoroughly enjoyable to me. There is a bit of a love triangle, and it is so angsty. It makes my heart happy. I really enjoyed this read so much. And A.G. Howard is an author that I kind of fell in love with this year. I really enjoyed her writing. It was very atmospheric. You could definitely feel the twists and turns as they went on. Some of them I expected and others kind of blindsided me. So it was really fun. It was just really fun. If you've been hesitating on this book at all, I highly recommend you pick it up. The next book on my list is another one that I had been dragging my heels on reading, but I am so glad I finally read it, and that is Burial Rites by Hannah Kent. Her writing was amazingly atmospheric. I ended up really enjoying this way she told this story. For those of you who are unaware of what this one is about, this is about the last woman that was executed in Iceland, is how I understand it. It's a historical fiction novel, so it is based on a real case and a real woman, and I really enjoyed how Hannah Kent did so much research to kind of fill in the blanks for our fiction story, and I really enjoyed the whole journey that was Burial Rites. I know she has another book out called The Good People, I believe, and I'm hoping to pick that one up soon because I really fell in love with her writing in Burial Rites. All right, next up is Beasts Made of Night by Tochi Onyebuchi, is how I want to say his name. Tochi Onyebuchi is how I want to say it. But this is his debut novel in a series, and this is all about people who eat other people's sins so they remain pure. So basically they have like this exorcism to get the sin to come out of their body, and it takes a physical like animal form. And then there are these people called the Aki who are hired to come and eat the sin, and it actually brands them. It like puts a tattoo on their body for it, and so it's really interesting. I really liked the concept of this. I picked it up thinking, oh, it'll be somewhere like 3.5 stars, but I think it'll be fun. I ended up giving it 4 stars. I was much more impressed with this than I expected it to be. So if you like YA fantasy at all, like just kind of their normal formulaic thing, it's not going to do anything that's going to blow you away, but I was surprised by it, so I ended up giving it 4 stars. These last 2 are both 5 stars. Like I said, the end of my reading year was absolutely fantastic. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Wires and Nerve by Marissa Meyer. This is book 1 in her Wires and Nerve graphic novel series. I loved getting to follow our sassy Aiko, our perfect AI robot. I just love her. And I loved seeing her kind of come into her own personality a little bit more and helping people understand that she is more than just Cinder's robot. And I loved it. I loved it for so many reasons. And I'll probably end up doing a separate review on that one pretty soon. And last but not least is The Bear and the Nightingale by Katherine Arden. Again, this is one I kind of sat on all year, but I ended up loving. The writing is so beautiful. I love how she weaved the different Russian fairy tales into this story. I really just loved it so much. I'm so glad April, Sarah, and I have plans to read the second book soon because I absolutely adored this book. Like, beyond adored this book. It was fantastic. It reminded me a lot of Daughter of the Forest by Juliette Marillier that I read earlier this year. The writing is very similar. So if you like Juliette Marillier's writing, you're going to love Katherine Arden's writing. So guys, that's it. That's my reading wrap up for the last half of November and all of December. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys in the next video, which should be my favorite books of 2017. And I will see you later. Bye.